Okay, so we will talk about the sum and difference identities for sine, cosine, and tangent. Now, hindi ko sa inyo papakita kung paano nakuha yung, yung process kung paano nakuha yung formula. Pero, let's start with sine. The sine of x and y. The sine of x plus y is equal to sine x cos y plus cosine of x sine ng y. So, bale, kapag sine, we are talking about sine cos, cos sine. So, that's the pattern for sine. Sine cos, cos sine. Sine cos, cos sine. Now, sulat naman natin yung difference identity ng sine, which is sine x minus y is equal to, you still remember, yung pattern ng sine will be sine cos, cos sine. Now, since minus siya, it's gonna be difference. It's gonna be the minus sign here. Now, it's just the matter of writing x and y. X and y. Now, that's our sum and difference identities for sine. Now, sulat naman natin yung sum and difference ng ng cosine. Cosine na. Now, different naman yung pattern sa cosine. Sa cosine ng x and y, the pattern will be cos cosine sine. Cos cos sine sine. And unlike sa sine, where kung ano yung operation na ginagamit, let's say na ang ginamit is plus, dito naman din ay gagamitin plus, and then minus here will be minus here. Sa cosine naman, it's the opposite. Let's say ginamit natin is is addition, the sum identity, then the sign in between them will be subtraction. Now, it's just the matter of writing x and y to complete our sum identity for cosine. And it's also the same with the difference identity of cosine. So, ang pattern natin is cos sine sine. Sine sine. And since yung operation natin is, ang operation na ginamit natin is subtraction, ang magiging sign nito is addition. Now, let's write xy, xy. And that's our sum and difference identity for cosine. Data na natin. Now, titigan naman natin yung sine identity ng sum and difference identity ng tangent. Now, when talking about tangent, ang sum and difference identity ng tangent, let's say plus muna tayo, y is equal to, ang pattern niya ang tangent will always start na may division. Ang pattern niya is tan 1 tan sa taas, then 1 tan sa baba. Tan sa taas, then 1 tan sa baba. Yung tan sa baba, wala kayong ilalagay na operation yan. Which means, multiplication yung dalawang tangent sa baba. However, sa taas, doon tayo maglalagay ng operation. Dito lang tayo maglalagay ng operation. Dito, saka dito. Now, ang ang sum identity ng tangent. Isusulat natin to. Sa numerator ng sum identity ng tangent, the operation will be plus sa numerator. However, sa denominator, it's the opposite ng nasa loob ng parenthesis. Since ang nasa loob ng parenthesis is positive, ang operation natin sa denominator is negative. Now, it's just a matter of writing xy, xy. And that's our sum identity for tangent. Then, using that knowledge, we can now write the difference identity for tangent. Difference identity for tangent. Ang pattern natin, tan 1, tan tan 1, tan. Now, tignan natin yung operation na nasa loob ng parenthesis. It's negative. So, ang numerator natin, laging tandaan na kapag ang numerator, ang operation ng numerator will be the same sa inside ng parenthesis. And sa denominator, it will be the opposite. Since negative, ang ilalagay lang natin ito is negative kasi, di ba nga, same lang yung operation sa numerator. However, sa denominator, plus siya kasi ang opposite ng plus is minus. It's just a matter of writing x and y again. And now, ayan na yung ating tangent, sum and difference identities for tangent. And we will use this to solve several problems regarding sum and difference identities. Now, this is just another way of writing the sum and difference identities. Same pa rin naman siya. Pero, tingnan natin. Mapapansin niyo na ito, ang sign niya is plus minus. Pero dito, is minus plus. Remember, sa cosine, opposite yung sign na nasa loob. So, that's why we wrote it like this. Similar din dito, and the operation here and the operation sa denominator. And we will use this to solve several problems regarding sum and difference identities. Now, bakit nga ba meron tayong A and B or alpha, beta, U, V doon sa ating sum and difference identity? Kasi let's say you are given this 105 degrees. You need to think of two numbers, two special angles. Special angles yung angles that can be found in the unit circle. You need to think of two special angles that if you add or subtract, dapat magi-equal siya sa 105 degrees. Now, let us get the Let us get the sum identity for cosine 105 degrees. Now, let us think of two special angles that when added together, its sum will be 105. Yes, that is 60 and 45 degrees. Now, we can, wait lang, sulat natin sa baba. Now, we can write it as cosine ng 60 degrees plus 45 degrees. Yan. Now, if you still remember, ang pattern ng cosine is cos, sin. And yung operation is always opposite sa loob ng parenthesis. Since addition tayo sa may identity, we will use subtraction here. Yan. Now, it's just a matter of writing x and y here. Cosine ng 60, lagyan natin ng parenthesis. Cosine ng 60, cosine ng 45 degrees. Minus sine ng 60, minus sine ng 45. Now, using the unit circle, the coordinate of cosine 60, wait lang, hindi pala naka-ano yung ano ko. Hindi pala naka-radians yung ano ko. Ay, hindi pala naka-degrees. The coordinate of cosine 60 degrees is 1/2. So, let's just write 1/2. And the coordinate of cosine 45 is square root of 2 over 2. You still remember the unit circle. Now, the coordinate of sine ng 60 degrees is square root of 3 over 2 over multiplied by the sine of 45 degrees, which is also square root of 2 over 2. Now, it's just evaluating, multiply both sides, and it's gonna be 2, let's say 2 square root of 2, okay, manual natin, 2 times square root of 2 over 2, then we can multiply it pala na. We don't need to cross multiply. Anyway, 1 times square root of 2 is square root of 2. 2 times 2 is 4. 4 minus square root of 3 times square root of 2 will be just square root of 6. 2 times 2 is 4. Now, simplifying, square root of 2 minus square root of 6, we can't do any simplification further kasi hindi mo siya pwedeng square root of 2 minus square root of 6 will be square root of 4, negative square root of 4. You can't do that. So we're just gonna write it as square root of 2 minus square root of 6. Since same siya ng denominator, copy lang natin yung denominator, and 4. Now, this is our final answer for cosine ng, hindi ko mabox, cosine ng 105. Now, let us check sa ating calculator. Bakit, ay mali. Bakit sa decimal sa akin? Ang corny. There we go. There we go. It's just the same. Or kung minsan lalabas sa calculator nyo is just 1 minus square root of 3 multiplied to the square root of 2 over 4. It's just the same. Distribute square root of 2. Square root of 3 times square root of 2 is square root of 6 over 4. Distribute, then distribute, and then you'll eventually get the same result. Now, let us solve for the the difference identity of cosine 105. And we'll see something interesting. Now, let us think of two angles from the unit circle that when subtracted together, it will equal to 105 degrees. Now, let us try cosine 150 minus 45 degrees. Now, you can use any value any angle in the unit circle, as long as if you add or subtract it, it will equal to 105 degrees. Now let us use this one. Remember, the formula for cosine is mali, ba't may denominator? Is cos sine sine, and the opposite in the operation inside the parenthesis will be the opposite. Since subtraction siya, this one will be addition. Now it's just a matter of writing x and y, 150, 45, 150, 45 degrees. Now, the coordinates na. Isusulat na natin yung coordinates. Now, yung coordinates ng cosine 150 degrees is negative square root of 3 over 2 multiplied by the cosine ng 45 degrees, which is square root of 2 over 2 plus, tandaan kasi plus siya kasi opposite sa cosine, opposite ng operation inside the parenthesis. Now, coordinate ng sine 150 will be 1/2. You can use your calculator for this, so it'll be easier. Then sine ng 45 degrees will be also square root of 2 over 2. Now it's just the matter of evaluating. Negative square root of 3 times negative square root of 2 will be negative square root of 6 over 2 times 2 is 4 plus 1 times 2 will be square root of 2 over 2 times 2, 4. 4. Now we can also write it as negative square root of 6 plus square root of 2 over square root of 4. Now this is our final answer. Now, if you noticed, similar lang yung answer natin with the sum identity, but written in different way. If you can still, you can rewind, pero ang answer natin earlier was 2 square root of 2 minus square root of 6 over 4. See how it's just written in different way. Now, we can say that the sum and the difference identity will always output the same answer. Now, you can use the sum or the difference identities kung ano mas convenient sa inyo. Pero, it will just spit out the same answer. Sometimes it's written, nakalimutan ko yung square root dito. Sometimes it's written in sometimes it's it's written in a different way, like this, where negative 6, positive 2, then over 4. It's written in different way, pero similar pa rin siya ang ating answer. Now, we can say that whether you use sum or the difference identity, you will always get the same answer for the two of them. Now, let us use the sum and difference identities for sine in order for us to solve this problem. Now, given sa atin is radians. So, let us write first the formula for sine. If you can still remember, the formula for sine ng xy, sum muna tayo, x and y equal to sin cos, then sine. Then the operation inside the parenthesis will be the same. Unlike the cosine, the sine will always be the same. Now, Since it's addition siya. It's just the matter of writing x and y, xy in the formula. Now, this is our formula. Erase ko na. Now, let us think of two angles that when added together, it will equal to 5 pi over 12. Now, it's a bit tricky kasi nga naka-radians tayo. But, ang tip ko lang dito is for you to memorize the unit circle. It's 0, 30, 60, 90, 120, 120, no, 0, 6, 0, 30, 60, 90, 120, 135, 150, 180, tapos, ano nga yun? 210, 225, 240, 270, then 300? Tama ba? Ata. Oh, 300. 300, 315, 330, then 360. Yung quadrant form yung pinakamadali kasi it's just by 15. Yeah. Add by 15 lang naman yun. Starting with 300. And you can also memorize the the radians, pero hindi ko memorize. Yan. However, let us think of two angles that when added together, it will equal to 5 pi over 12. Now, let us use pi over 6 and pi over 4. How did it become, bakit nga ba ito yung ginamit natin? Kasi, let's see, pi over 6 plus pi over 4. You can skip this if you, pero, yan. Kunin natin yung LCD. Ang LCD ng 6 and 4 is 12. Then, divide. First, 12 divided by 6 is 2 times pi. 6 divided by 12 divided by 6. 12 divided by 6 is 2 times pi. Multiply. Is 2 pi. Plus 12 divided by 4. 12 divided by 4. 4 is 3. 3 times pi is is 3 pi. Now 3 pi plus 2 pi is 5 pi over 12, which is 5 pi over 12. Yun lang naman. Anyways, let us try to solve the sum identity for sine pi over 12. Now, hindi na ako magsosolve ng difference identity kasi nga, sabi natin kanina, the sum and difference identity, kahit anong gamitin mo, it will just spit out the same answer. Now, let us just use the sine identity for convenience na lang. No? Now, the formula is sine cos plus cosine now it's just a matter of writing x and y, pi over 6, then pi over 4, then pi over 6, then pi over 4. Now, it's just writing, you can use our calculators here to find the coordinates of pi over 6. Now, pi over 6, hindi pala naka-radians tong calculator. Now, according to my calculator, it's 1/2 multiplied by, actually, we can just use, parenthesis na lang. Multiplied by the cosine of pi over 4. Cosine ng pi over 4. Ay, mali. Pi over 4 is square root of 2 over 2 plus cosine ng square root of cosine ng pi over 6 is 3 over 2, then the sine of sine of pi over 4 is square root of 2 over 2, square root of 2 over 2. Now it's let's simplify. 1 times 2 is square root of 2. 2 times 2 is 4 plus square root of 3 times square root of 2 is square root of 6 over 4. Now we can write it as square root of 2 plus square root of 6 over 4. Now this is our final answer. Now let us type it in our calculator. Sine of 5 pi over 12. Ayan. Lumabas sa akin is 1 plus square root of 3 square root of 2 over 4. Now, same lang siya dito kasi distribute square root of 2 plus square root of 6 square root of 3 times square root of 2 is square root of 6 over 4. Yan. Now, you can use the you can use the difference identity. However, same lang siya nalalabas. I'm not sure pero baka lumabas is square root of 6 plus square root of 2 over square root of 4. You can try it out yourself pero it will be this but might be written in different way or in the same way. Pero in the end, parehas lang din kayo ng makukuha. Now, let us solve tangent of pi over 12 using the sum and difference identity. Now, let us think of two angles that when added or subtracted, it will equal to pi over 12. Now, kung may naisip ko yung iba, you can use it. But for now, we will use pi over 3 minus pi over 4. If we subtract them together, it will the difference will be pi over 12. Now, it's just a matter of writing the formula. If the formula of tangent, if you can still remember, is tan 1 tan. All of them are tan. Tan 1 tan. Now, just remember, the operation for the numerator will be the same as the operation from inside the parenthesis. The numerator. So, since negative yung numerator natin, or subtraction din yung magiging sign natin. Now, in the denominator naman, the operation will be the opposite of the operation inside the parenthesis. Since negative siya, positive naman tayo rito. Now, it's just a matter of writing x and y. Now, tangent of pi over 3. Tapos, tangent ng pi over 4. Tangent. Ba't ang layo ng tangent ko? Tangent ng pi over 3. Tangent ng pi over 4. Now, let us use our ay gagi, namatay yung ano ko. Yung phone ko, wait lang. Open lang ako ng scientific calculator sa aking computer. Now, wait lang. Ayan, nakuha ko na yung cycle ko. Anyway, using our calculator, let us find, wait lang, nire-radians ko lang. Ayan. Let us find the coordinates of tangent, pi over 3. Pi over 3. It's square root of 3. Square root of 3. Nag-record ba? Okay. Record pa naman. Minus tangent ng square root of 4. It's 1 over 1 plus square root of 3 multiplied by 1. Now, simplify. Ano ba yan? Anyways, yan. Wala na tayong magagawa sa numerator. It's already simplified. Square root of 3 minus 1 over, ba't ganyan yung 1 ko? Over 1 minus 1 plus square root of 3 times square root of 1 is square root of 3. Now, burahin ko muna to. Ay, hindi. Iusog ko na lang para hindi nakakalito. Yan. Now, is this already our final answer? Hindi pa. Since meron pa tayong meron pa tayong ano nga tawag dyan? Basta meron pa tayong square root sa baba. We need to simplify this. Now, in order for us to simplify, is by taking the conjugate of the numerator. Is by taking the conjugate of the denominator. So, what is a conjugate? A conjugate is just, parang, paano ko ba explain? It's just the opposite sign ng numerator. Now, the conjugate of 1 plus square root of 3 will be just 1 minus square root of 3. Yun yung ating conjugate. Now, let's say we have a denominator of 2 plus square root of 10. Kunyari lang. Now, the conjugate of this will be 2 minus square root of 10. So that will be the conjugate. Just change the sign. Now, the conjugate, ano ba yung ingay? The conjugate, we need to multiply this by the conjugate of the denominator, which is 1 minus square root of 3. 1 minus square root of 3. Now, now, let us simplify. So, mga pala. So, first, let's let's simplify the numerator muna. This one, this one, this one. Now, you can do several techniques, but we will use the FOIL method. Yes, FOIL method. Now, let us write 3, square root of 3 minus 1, 1 minus square root of 3. Now, for FOIL method, first, square root of 3 times 1 is square root of 3 plus outside square root of 3 minus square root of 3, square root of 3 minus square root of 3 times minus square root of 3 is equal to negative square root of 9, which is just square root of 9 is equal to the square root of 3. Next, first outside, inside, 1 times negative 1 times 1 is negative 1. Then lastly, last, negative 1 times negative square root of 3 is positive square root of 3. Now, let's simplify. Wait lang. Okay, tama ako. Anyways, let's simplify. Negative 3, ay hindi. Let us combine like terms muna. Yung buo muna. Ito. Negative 3 minus 1. Negative 3 minus 1 will be negative 4. Now, let us combine 3 and 3. Square root of 3 and square root of 3. Now, negative 4 plus square root of 3 plus square root of 3. Since meron tayong dalawang square root of 3, we can just write it as 2 square root of 3. Now, Saan ang galing yung plus? Bakit plus to? Ba't hindi multiplication? Ba't hindi ganyan-ganyan? Bakit plus? Kasi meron tayong addition dito. Mga bata. Ha? Ayan. May addition tayo. So, 3 plus square root of 3 is just 2 square root of 3. Now, we can try using our calculator. Square root of 3 minus 1. Make sure that your minus 1 is outside the radicand. Yun, radicand nga pala tawag doon. Yan, plus 1 minus square root of 3. Ay, bakit wala? 1 minus square root of 3 is negative 4 plus 2 square root of 3. Now, this will be our numerator. Bakit ko pa binura? This will be our numerator. The simplified version of our numerator. Now we can erase this one to give way for the simplification of our denominator, which is 1 plus square root of 3 times 1 minus square root of 3. Now let us use FOIL method once more. 1 plus square root of 3 multiplied by 1 minus square root of 3. Now 1 times 1 is 1 plus outside 1 minus square root of 3 is negative square root of 3 plus inside negative square root of 3 times 1 is square root of 3. Then lastly, negative square root of 3 minus negative square root of 3 times negative square root of 3 is just negative square root of 9 or 3. Yan. Negative square root of 3 times negative square root of 3 is 9, or just negative square root of 3. Now, let us simplify. Let us combine like terms first. Yung buo muna. 1 minus square root of 3. 1 minus 3. 1 minus 3 is negative 2. Now, let us combine this. Negative square root of 3 plus square root of 3. Try ko lang calculate ko. Negative square root of 3 minus plus square root of 3 is 0. So this will cancel out. Oo nga naman. So this will cancel out. So our simplified version is negative 2. This is our simplified version for the denominator. Now, let us simplify this. Nabilisan. Negative 4 divided by negative 2 will be cancel will just be negative 4 will be cancelled, so it's gonna be negative 2. Then 2 divided by negative 2 is negative 1. So negative 1, we don't need to write that anymore. So sulat muna natin. 2 minus 2 divided by negative 2 is negative 1 square root of 3, or just, since we don't need to write negative 1 anymore, it's just 2 minus square root of 3. Now this is our final answer for the tangent of pi over 12. Now let us use our calculator if tama ba ang ating nakuhang sagot. Tangent of pi over 12 is 2. Oo nga no, bakit negative 2 nilagay ko? Okay, isa pa. Take 2. My bad. Now, negative 4 divided by negative 2 is positive 2, hindi negative 2. What am I thinking? Anyways, negative 4 divided by negative 2 is positive 2. Then, ito yung pala yung negative. Negative 2 divided by negative 2 is negative 1. Then, square root of 3. Cancel na yan. Cancel. Now, yun na yan. Since we don't need to write negative 1 anymore, it's just gonna be 2 minus square root of 3. Now, this is our final answer for tangent of pi over 12. Now, tapos gamitin natin yung calculator natin, it will, give the same answer. 2 negative square root of 3. Ayan. Yan lang naman ang ating lesson regarding sum and difference identities. For the next video, we will solve several several word problems regarding sum and difference identities. Thank you.